And you're listening to Transformational Tea with Taj, Ways to Inner Peace. What is the secret to love? When love feels like it's not present or available, what is happening? What makes us feel like we're suffering, and that suffering is the only way to love? When we contract, when we hold on to love and stop sharing it, we create suffering for others. When we don't feel the love coming to us because others are holding back, then we're suffering ourselves. It seems like the simple answer to this is to just open our hearts and let the love flow in and out. Well, it is a simple answer, but it's a complex action, it seems. A type of personal protection. We protect ourselves so we don't let this happen. With consciousness is to see some sacred geometric shape in a strong color around us that only lets love come in and go out, nothing else. We do that, right? That's a way we do protection. That's a way some people do. They'll put white light around themselves. But what if we did it differently and thought that we don't need to be protected from anything, but that we only want love in and we only want to let love flow out? So where does this holding on aspect of love, or this constriction of love, manifest itself? Well, physically, it manifests by holding your breath. It's a beginning place when you feel afraid, tense, or stressed, whether mentally, physically, or emotionally. We can feel it in our heads as a tight band around the temple. We can feel it in our chests as congestion or tightness. And we feel it in our stomachs as cramps or gas or tightness. Shallow breathing is a type of constriction. We learn all of this through the environment that surrounds us, whether it be from our parents and family or peers and society. And it's quite amazing how we entrain ourselves to others, to the flow of energy of others. This can act in positive ways, which we usually hear about entrainment as a positive thing, but it can also act in limited ways, and we're not really aware of this. This suffering has been passed from generation to generation genetically. This feeling of lack that makes us feel not worthy of receiving. How we deal with this tension and tightness, whether we deny it or want to delve into it to find the cause and heal it, is an amazing process that will color our lives and the responses to life. When we are in denial of this pain and tension, we actually are creating more of it. When we're willing to penetrate into this place of pain, this wound, we can listen and heal. This is a powerful process that will lead to accepting who we really are and help us to begin to love ourselves as we unwind or unfold this pain. As we do this, the contraction or tightness begins to abate and life starts to look different. You always hear that there's always a purpose for everything that happens to us, and I totally believe it's true. And as we accept who we are with all of the challenging actions, all of the challenging moments that we've been reacting to, we have a choice, changing to new responses, to moving without tension or constriction. And we do this through acceptance, no longer judging ourselves for how we were in the past. We can change in this now moment. We may also be holding on and controlling others as a way to feel loved. This restricts that freedom of the flow of love. Love comes freely because it's our nature, just like we were talking about with Preston. Letting go is the only way to shift. When we act cold-hearted because we're so angry that we hate ourselves and how we feel, we project our pain on others and use anger as a weapon to inflict the pain that we're feeling. Because we don't want to be reminded of our pain, we may push people away, push any genuine outpouring of love from others away. Sometimes these people become abusive. And how do we let go? Well, we accept that we're constricted. Fear is a very powerful loop because it wants to survive. Love is always. It's the background. We need do nothing to feel love except relax and take a deep breath. We don't need to visualize to be in this state. It's a natural state that we can fall back into at any time. When we laugh, when we listen to beautiful music. Fear is part of the human species, that instinct to run when a lion is chasing you. And it's now manifesting on so many levels in our being. So many different vibrational frequencies of fear surround us, from the fear of dying to being rejected, to the collective fears that deal with society at large, war, chaos, planetary annihilation. Like, we don't want to think about those things, but they're in there somewhere. It seems like this, as opposed to love, is what pervades each one of us and our world. What about love? Is fear only a tool that we are misusing? Is fear here in the world of duality so that we can move into the most amazing experience that we are meant to have and recognize it? When we ignore our fears, we tighten the knot of fear deeper within us. The wound festers in silence until the light of awareness and acceptance shines upon it. By ignoring the pain, we create more in the world. The force of love light within us wants to explode out. By ignoring our fears, we're keeping this love from the world. We're actually imploding. When you release the pain, you feel such a sense of relief, and your heart can breathe again. Is fear here to teach us in-depth lessons about love? By showing us the other side of love, so that we can choose freely and desire to be a tool of love? By being in unconditional service to the divine and others? This is what Preston's talking about, unconditional love and service. Is fear and its physical symptoms of tightness and smallness ultimately here to show us its opposite of boundless expansion and freedom, whether individual, communal, or planetary? Think about it. Are these clouds or walls of fear to be blown away or broken down so that we know the immensity of what a healed life looks like and feels like? Can we unravel the vortex of fear in our guts? Doctors say that all sicknesses begin in the gut. Does fear have anything or a lot to do with this? Look back at the last time you were sick. Remember what was going on at the time. A cold, for instance. Were you doing too many things and needed to take a break to slow down? So instead of just doing that, consciously your body did it for you? Our bodies are amazing, and they just come back into a state of health. Have you thanked and loved your body for the amazing vehicle that it is? Perhaps this moment is a good time to do that. Love your body right now. Send that loving energy that you probably use on others, that you know helps others, to all the cells inside of you right now. Fear chokes the life out of us, but it is all in the mind. It's all tricks of the mind, an illusion that a magician uses. There's a purpose to fear. It takes us on the journey to love. When we recognize these challenging parts of ourselves, we'll be able to ultimately accept them and then ourselves completely. When we can love these parts of ourselves, we will have compassion for others and will love others in this same way. We become courageous when we can see ourselves for all of our aspects and objectivity instead of judgment. We will understand what, when, where, and the purpose for who we have been as we move into love. Then we will no longer need to be afraid. We become softer. We slow down. We deepen and move out of the frequency, the low frequency of fear and victimization, and into the higher frequencies of acceptance and then love.